It's time for Talk Law Radio with Todd Marquardt. Todd Marquardt, attorney at law in Texas. If you're a millionaire or a thousandaire, Talk Law Radio is now on the air. Call in with your business law question, your elder law question, veteran aid, Medicaid, build a business to get paid. 210-308-8867. Or ask a question online at marquardtlawfirm.com. That's MARQUARDT lawfirm.com. And now it's Talk Law Radio with Todd Marquardt.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here with Shannon Salmon-Haas.
And Lexi.
And Lexi. She's just off camera right now, but she's here with us. And she's sporting a new cape that has a lightning bolt in her first initial L because she wants to bring awareness to our campaign to collect emergency blankets for people that are cold. You can go to Amazon and buy those. They're super inexpensive, and just have them shipped to my office at 14603 Hebner, Suite 3801, San Antonio, Texas 78230, and we will take those down to Haven for Hope when we collect some. Today we're going to be talking about the hidden legal issue blind spot of citizenship by taking a deep dive in the Supreme Court case from 1898, United States versus Wong Kim Ark. Shannon, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks. So happy to be here.
You're streaming on Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
Somebody just joined, but I put it too far. Something Angels. I'll look it up later.
Oh, yeah. I guess you do need to strategically place that camera so that you can both see it and be on it.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm not...
Because right now it's like focused only on me.
Yeah. I think I do that on purpose somewhat. I'm a little shy, right?
It's funny that you're a shy Instagram influencer. But I want to talk about this Supreme Court case because one of my values that I bring to Talk Law Radio is that I value freedom and liberty, and I love being in the United States because we do what we want here.
Yeah, we're very special.
I'm a citizen, I think. I have a birth certificate. Well, I know I'm a citizen because I have a passport and it says United States citizen.
Right.
And so I value that. And even though I'm not immigrating here from somewhere else, I worry that maybe the government will get mad at me for something someday and try and take away my citizenship.
Right, right. And you might think that sounds crazy, but it happens. I mean, I've had many, many cases in my office of people who really were 100,000 billion% convinced they were citizens, and it turns out they were not. You know, by some technicality, they never had been. Maybe they were born to a midwife right along the border, or, you know, things happen before you're born, and so you can live your whole life.
Right.
There's a story right now of a guy that's getting deported. He served in the military. He has a driver's license. He has a social, but he technically wasn't. Anyway, it's just not crazy talk the way you're thinking. It has happened, and it does happen. If
you worry that maybe the government has too much power, then, you know, that's something that they could take away from you maybe someday.
Right, exactly.
So this case, United States versus Wong Kim Ark, occurred back in 1898, and there was a law called the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Yeah.
And I think that you talked about this when Juan was with us.
Yeah.
And we were talking about immigration law and how far back in the United States history immigration law started, and I think you mentioned this law.
Right.
And so I got curious about what brought on the need for a Chinese Exclusion Act, and the internet told me that there were people in the government that were afraid there were too many Chinese coming to the United States, specifically California.
Yeah, it's that basic. Yeah.
That's what you remember about it?
Yes, you're right.
Anything else that you remember about it?
Just that basic. and that clearly racially discriminatory. Hey, there's way too many Chinese people here, and we don't like that.
Yeah. So what artificial intelligence told me, a summary of the law, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 was the first major law to limit immigration to the United States based on race. The law's purpose was to reduce the number of Chinese immigrants entering the country, especially California. The act was a response to a combination of factors, including labor unrest, racial tensions, and a rise in Chinese immigration. So there you have it.
Yeah.
And so what happened is this guy was Wong Kim Ark was born in the United States to parents who were living here permanently in California. And he went to...
Well, I can add a little bit there because that's kind of an important point. They were Chinese citizens. They were citizens of China. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have anything like a green card at the time. A green card was first rolled out in 1940, I believe.
Okay.
So they were not U.S. citizens. They were not here. Some politicians have been saying that, I don't know what that was. I heard that too.
I don't either.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that point that his parents were not what we would consider legally here. They were considered citizens of China, and they were living here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. But at the time, that Chinese Exclusionary Act or Exclusion Act prohibited any Chinese person from being a citizen.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there was...
But they weren't necessarily illegal.
They were illegal in the sense that a very discriminatory law came down directly from our governing bodies that said, if you're Chinese, you're not welcome here. You have nothing.
Well, they're not a citizen, but there was no ICE going to take them away.
There was also no green card. There was no, here's a work permit. There was just,
I just think there weren't
different.
There weren't as many laws about it.
Thank you.
So I still stand by my thought. I could be wrong. You can email me at host@talklawradio.com if I'm wrong. But I think that they were allowed to live there. They're just not a citizen.
They were a subclass. So the United States has certain people that we recognize as citizens, and at some point in our history, we didn't recognize black people. We didn't fully recognize women because we couldn't vote. We didn't recognize Native Americans. And Chinese were clearly in that group that we considered like not worthy of full U.S. citizenship or any kind of recognition.
But this is post-Civil War. This is the 14th Amendment had already been passed when this court case came down.
Well, as to the point of whether their rights, the rights of the parents, that's going to be an important thing that the judges are going to be considering, because what they're trying to say is that this is different now. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
You are getting ahead of yourself.
Go on.
Calm down. Okay. So what I was getting to is that this boy went to China. He came back to the United States, and they stopped him at the customs.
Right.
And they said, you can't come in.
Yeah.
And he said, but I was born here.
Right.
And so it brings up the whole question of birthright citizenship. If you're born here, does that make you a citizen? And the reason we're asking this question is because of President Trump's executive order that says that their birthright citizenship isn't an entitlement of somebody that's born of somebody that's here without permission.
Right. If you have a father that's a citizen or a legal permanent resident, then I think you're good to go. But how does it read exactly? If your mother doesn't have status.
Yeah, we'll get into that on the Saturday show. We're going to talk about the 26 executive orders, but this show is only about this case, Shannon.
Okay, I'll try and calm down. Thank you for that reminder.
But an important point that I want to talk about is the language from a case that's quoted within this case. So United States case law is based on other cases that have come before it. That's called precedent. And so in order to come up with a decision as to whether this gentleman was a citizen because of where he was born, the Supreme Court at that time in year 1898 had to evaluate lots of other cases. And one of those cases was a North Carolina Supreme Court case where Justice Gaston said, quote, "Before our revolution, all free persons born within the dominions of the King of Great Britain, whatever their color or complexion, were native-born British subjects. Those born out of his allegiance were aliens. Upon the Revolution, no other change took place in the law of North Carolina than was consequent upon the transition from a colony dependent on a European king to a free and sovereign state. British subjects in North Carolina became North Carolina freemen, and all free persons born within the state are born citizens of the state. The term citizen, as understood in our law, is precisely analogous to the term subject in the common law, and the change of phrase has entirely resulted from the change of government. The sovereignty has been transferred from the man to the collective body of the people, and he who before was a subject of the king is now a citizen of the state." I just really loved the language from that, saying that we used to be subjects of a king, and now we're citizens of a state.
Okay. Well, when you say it like that, I love it too.
That goes with my strong belief and philosophy that we should be free people.
Right. No king.
God-given,
no monarchy for us.
That's right. Now,
so what does democracy mean then? What is it? How do you define democracy?
Well, we're not a democracy.
Really?
We're a constitutional republic.
Okay.
We'll have to talk about that some other time,
Okay,
because
cool.
Here's my shocking revelation.
Tell me.
That in this case in 1898, the Supreme Court said there were exceptions when somebody born on the land would not be considered a citizen. And that's if they were a child of a member of the army of an adverse nation.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And so if
right.
there was a lawyer for the United States appealing
right.
the cases coming down now,
right.
maybe they would argue that because President Trump has designated
right.
this group of individuals over the last 4 years coming into the United States without permission to be an invasion.
Right, exactly.
Then the children of any of those people born
right.
would not be citizens.
Right. Yeah. That might be.
You think they might make that argument?
They already are.
I haven't heard anybody in the news talking about that. I thought I was the smartest one coming up with that.
Well, Judge Wu would agree with you because he's the one. Is that his name, Judge Wu?
From this case?
Back to the first administration that Trump had, Wu, W-U, I think is
okay.
So he's been making that argument, and it made me wonder if that's why the news was always spinning it that we're being invaded. And he's kind of been the lone voice, and nobody really had taken that very seriously, but they did it. They've actually really done it.
Okay. Well, I haven't.
The majority of people, I don't think, will agree, but who knows?
Yeah, the news people that I've been listening to, one has argued that because of this case, everybody that's born here, the Supreme Court today is going to use this case to reaffirm birthright citizenship.
Okay.
And so this guy that I listened to, Hugh Hewitt, he argues that President Trump is actually doing these immigrants a favor.
Oh my.
with his executive order, forcing the Supreme Court's hand to say that what's happening today is exactly the same as what happened in 1898.
And how would that help?
Well, because then there would be clear Supreme Court judgment saying that if you're born here, you're a citizen. No questions.
Okay.
So that's just something that's come up. But
it's interesting.
There's other political pundits that say that our situation now is distinguishable from this case because the people that are being, or would at least argue that the people that are having children here now, because they're here without permission, their children cannot be a citizen.
Uh-huh.
So that's why it's important for this 1898 case to really understand, were this guy's parents there with permission or not?
Yeah, you're right.
And I read the case,
Agreed.
But I could have missed something. I didn't see anything that said that they were in trouble. I think they were already there before this Chinese Exclusion Act was passed. So no more new Chinese, but if you're here, you're not a citizen, but we're not going to expel you. There was no ICE.
But they had no legal status. The United States had, we've had a pretty ugly history.
No legal status, but no penalty for employing them. So today you get in trouble if you have people that are not authorized to work in the United States working.
I'm going to stick with my interpretation that I don't believe they were here legally.
Okay.
Because the concept didn't even exist yet. We just had certain groups of people. We were born from a very racist standpoint.
Right. They were second-class citizens, but they weren't going to be expelled.
They could have been expelled at the whim of any. You know what? I like your definition. If you're here with permission, then you can't just be expelled, right? Mm-hmm. You have to have a trial in front of an immigration judge. Right. They have to revoke your status because you have some kind of status. None of that would have, you know what? Supreme Court better just call me because I just solved it right now. There would have been no trial for them. There's nothing. The United States government had complete and total sovereignty to just throw them out of the country. So how can you say that they had status? They had no status here. There was nothing that they could have argued. They were citizens of China.
So you're saying it is the same.
I bet
we can use this case as precedent.
Yeah, we can. I bet that your listeners don't we got down a rabbit hole. Can we explain this any simpler? Why this is important? Why if his parents were here with permission or not? Succinctly?
Well, maybe
because I can't do it. I'm too animated. I'm too.
No, I want to talk about something else.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can say that any more clearly. Another term that you might want to know is the Latin term jus soli, a Latin term that means right of the soil. It's the principle that a person's nationality is determined by their country of birth. That's cool. I like Latin.
Yeah.
All the Latin I learned was in law school.
Yeah, I probably know a little.
I never took Latin as a language.
Yeah. Say it again. How do you say it?
Well, I would say jus soli.
Jus soli. Mark, you don't know any Latin. If we're saying it wrong, chime in.
Yeah. Email me at host@talklawradio.com. That's HOST@talklawradio.com. You can find Shannon on Instagram or TikTok at Shannon Roberta SA, right? SA?
Yeah. I need to have them both the same. I tried to change it on Instagram, but it won't let me change it.
You have one that's...
I'm different. I'm one, but...
Shannon Roberta San Antonio.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... You need to search for both.
Whatever.
I was trying to invite you online. I knew you were going to be here in person, but I wanted to invite your online persona to watch the Facebook Live. But
how would we do that?
You're not a follower of the show.
No way. I'm sure I am.
So I invited Aaron, and hopefully he told you that he was invited.
I think you have to be wrong.
Well, we can check it out. If you want to be invited on the show, just email me at host@talklawradio.com. If you want to sponsor the show...
It says following.
Oh.
I'm a big fan.
Do you have another persona that's not Shannon?
No, this one says Shannon.
Because
Roberta,
when I search for Shannon, nothing comes up. Maybe it's because you're too private. So you can sponsor the show if you want to have your product featured or your service featured in front of our listeners, which are probably people that love to listen to us talk about the law. And I think that many of those people are probably lawyers.
Really?
Don't you think lawyers would want to hear what's going on in the law?
Yeah, you might be right, yeah.
Or maybe like people that are lifelong learners.
Right, yeah.
They just want to know what's going on because they're interested.
People of faith that are interested in how their faith can intersect with running a business and things like that.
Yeah, well, I like to talk about law and gospel, what the state law is, what the federal law is, and then what the Bible would say about that same thing.
Right.
And on the Saturday show, I think I'm going to bring that in. I can't remember what it was for now, but I'll have to look at my notes. So again, citizenship matters. To me, anyway.
Yeah. I like how you process through that. I like the humility, how you're thinking, well, if this can happen to other people, it could possibly happen to me.
Yeah, well, I worry about the government having too much power. I'm in favor of a limited government.
Yeah, I think that's very wise.
I believe that people can be responsible for a lot of the things themselves. I think that the church and charities can do a lot more helping if the government were just out of the way.
Okay.
So tell me what's going on with your outfit of the day.
Well, in the mornings, I'm trying to post once in the morning and once at night because I'm doing an experiment to see if the algorithm likes consistency. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the algorithm likes, but I'm working on, trying to get the image quality better, the video better, and it's just really fun. I don't know why it brings me so much joy, but I just do a little hashtag OOTD every morning, and I have to get dressed anyway, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm working on transitions where, when someone spins around and, first you're in your jammies and then when you do the spin, you're in your out.
Okay. I have seen you do that.
It's really hard. So if you watch a content creator and they have a big following, don't poo-poo that. That is really hard. They are working. This is a skill and they are working.
Okay.
It's a job.
So if you're interested in seeing what Shannon wears on a daily basis, so go ahead and follow her on Instagram or TikTok.
And it's the least, I don't want to fight. I'm tired of politics separating me from friends. I just want something light, like a common, look, here's an outfit. Do you like my jacket?
Right.
Good. I love you. Have a great day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's encouraging to...
Like a common place, like a common ground.
Right, common ground. I like that.
Like you and me, how we can disagree but still be friends.
Right. Well, my outfit today is brought to you by Penguin from Dillard's.
Yeah.
My shirt. This is a new shirt.
Yeah. What would you call that? Salmon? Peach?
One of those.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Burnt orange?
No, it's not burnt orange. I didn't go to UT. I was an Aggie from New Mexico.
You kind of have your tag sticking out a little bit. Would I be too motherly if I tuck it in for you a little bit?
Here.
Yeah, there.
So I went the whole show with my tag sticking out.
I didn't want to mother hen you. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I should have just reached over and done it, right?
Well, that's our show for today. Hopefully you gained a little insight from listening to us talk about the Supreme Court case from 1898, which was United States versus Wong Kim Ark, where I think that this is going to be precedent for a case challenging President Trump's executive order declaring that those born of non-citizens are not citizens. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.